everyone, Jessie from the Scrappy Sisters. So I am recording this video down at my mum and dad's house. So I'm in a slightly different location with a completely different setup, but hopefully you can follow along and enjoy the ride. So I was just showing you there at the start of the video that I used this stuff I found on my mum's desk called Jewel, I think. I don't even know. It's like the only painty type stuff she had, and I really wanted to paint some raw chipboard circles frames that I had for this layout. So that's what I used. And I had this bright pink tulle in my kit, and so I decided I was going to put some of that tulle behind the circle frame. So I'm just cutting that out, and I end up just cutting it into sort of 4 or maybe 6 rough pieces, and just sort of layering it behind each of the circles just to add a little bit of texture and colour to the layout, because I'm using the All Heart collection by Crate Paper. It's quite a girly collection. Lots of, girls just want to have fun, you go girl, lots of that kind of stuff. And so as much as I'm all for using pink on my boys' layouts, I generally struggle to use things that are specifically feminine, things that specifically say she, on layouts for my boys. And I do struggle, like I'm happy to modify them a little bit, but sometimes it just doesn't really work. So luckily I had just attended this fantastic event for mums. It was specifically for mums. So me and my girlfriend went along, and so it really was all about, girls just wanting to have fun and girls ruling and getting out there, and that big radiate positivity that's in your face right now, that is exactly what it was about. So just side note on this event was called the Together event. It was run by a lady on social media called The Real Mama. I don't know, she's relatively famous over in Australia on Instagram as a, realistic mum. She's got thousands and thousands of followers, but anyway, she ran this event over in Melbourne where I think it was 250 people could come along for free, have a free glass of alcohol if you so desired, and have some nibbles and just, mingle, meet other mums, just get out of the house, because, I know often mums put themselves last and don't get out and don't do things, and so this was a really massive deal for me. This was the first time, I think, ever that I'd been out at night without taking Thomas with me. I gave him a breastfeed and then literally ran out the door and just said to my hubby, I hope everything's okay because you can't call me. And he was like, go, get out the door, have fun. Quite often it's ourselves that are holding us back from doing things. So it was really a big step for me to get out and leave Matt with both the boys and just let it go. And you know what? Everyone was fine. Isn't that the way it always is? Nothing happened. Everyone slept and had a great time. I had a marvellous night, and you know what? Everyone survived. So, anywho, moral to my mum's story, get out and do things if you can. So, I have done quite a bit while I was talking about that. I've stuck down all of the green, well, not all of them, but I've started sticking down the raw mixed media rings. I just used Tombo's glue. You can see it standing up, the green one. And I just kind of hoped that by putting the glue onto the ring, it would sort of leak through enough of the tulle to stick, because the tulle's pretty holy. And I also knew that I was sticking the photos on top, and there were other bits and pieces going on. I was pretty sure it'd be okay. So I just crossed my fingers, and it has, by the way. It worked fine. So I went through the All Heart collection and pulled out all the things that were like too girly for a boy's page, basically, like the lipstick, or just not suitable for my boys. Like, I don't mind if there's a lipstick on a boy's page, but I don't even have a picture of Jack getting into my makeup with the lipstick. He's got into my makeup with like the powders and stuff, so that could have worked. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I pulled out all those kind of things that I thought were best on a female-based page for me, a page about me, and decided I'd really like to use those on this and really embrace the whole, female thing. And then I did the 3 circles, larger circles with the tulle behind them. I ran out of double-sided tape, so that's like the bit that was stuck to the cardboard roll because I really needed the foam tape. Waste not, want not. And then I've actually used quite a few of the Love Always wooden ephemera turned over. So that circle right in the center is from the Love Always ephemera, and the banner up in the top right hand corner is from the Love Always ephemera. And again, they're the back. So if I flipped them over the correct way, they probably have some form of inscription or love heart or saying or something on them, but they didn't really go with what this layout was about. But I really liked the wood on the layout, so I included them, but just flipped them over. And then the banner down the bottom left underneath the photo, it's deliberately put there because it's underneath the photo of the host giving her speech, the real Adele from The Real Mama, and it actually says the word together. So I'm using that as my title. It's a really tiny little title, but there's just so much going on this page. This page is very busy. The background paper is very busy. It's a very crazy layout for me. I would not normally be so, so much happening. But I really like it. I think it really works. So that's okay. And I was kind of excited that I was getting to scrapbook because I was so sure being down at my parents' with the boys, I wouldn't really have a chance to scrapbook at all. But I managed to do 2 layouts in one day, which is just unheard of. Mum was like, no, I will have the boys. You do it. Do what you want, which was really amazing. So I just drank it all in and did as much as I could, as quickly as I could, which is also unlike me. I never scrap quickly. So I need to do that more often. Go down to Mum's and just put myself on a timeline and just, a time limit, a deadline, and just go. But yeah, so quite a bit of foam on this layout because I've got the wooden circles in the background. Most things need to be popped up to be able to go on top of the foam. Oh, that Tombo's glue is the bane of my existence. I just got a little bit on that mobile phone, so it's going to have an enamel dot or something on it to cover that. But I really wanted that mobile phone, and I really wanted it again down near Adele because that's basically how I know her, because not as in personally, as in that I scroll on my phone on social media and read her posts and see what she shares and all of that. So for me the mobile phone is sort of the key part of how this all came together. And then you can see on the bottom right hand part where I'm working now, there's a little circle over quite a dark photo. I took that photo off her social media. It's basically a picture of the crowd, the 250 people at this event, and the circle there is just actually circling me and my girlfriend in the crowd, listening away and watching her give her speech. And I just wanted to show you that was us among the many. It was a really great night. And I wonder what that was. Maybe a bit of the chill. So yeah, just rolling with it. I'm reasonably happy with the way this layout is turning out at the moment. As I said, it is very busy, but I like the concept of what's happening and where everything's going. I do change it a little bit as I start to stick everything down. I decided that that little girl's head was a bit too big for up in that spot, and that I wanted that sentiment out of the middle of that piece of ephemera, so I just cut it in half. Just go for it. I've gotten a lot better at cutting and using my supplies. Otherwise, I found I just left them and I hoarded them or avoided them, and then my things never got used. So I'm definitely getting much better at using what I have. It's mostly since I started using my kit for the month, doing, my 4 layouts or 5 layouts, and then my 4 project lives as well. I kind of had to use it all, because if I didn't use it, I ran out of supplies. And I really enjoy scrapping that way, in terms of using my things up and using my kit and using what I've got. I really like the way it looks in my album. So yeah, it's been really fun for me. This certainly would not suit everyone's way of creating albums, but I really enjoy it. And you'll see in my layout shares what I mean. If you haven't seen what I'm talking about, definitely go and watch one of my layout shares, because you can clearly see each month when I get my new kit in, and how you'll go, oh, change supplies. All right, new month. It's really quite clear. So we also got, I think it's the Glitter Girl. It's definitely Chamel, the flare, the buttons that I'm using. But I think it's the Glitter Girl collection, I think. So I'm just putting a couple of those on. Unfortunately, they've lost their stick, so I have to glue them down, but that's okay. I just picked them based on their colour more than the picture. Could not decide where to put that little gum wrap, but I really wanted it on, so it's going somewhere. And then I dropped another little bit of Tombo's glue, but I was a bit more clever this time and scraped it off. Decided to use some of the Corbett Creation hearts. I've had those hanging around for quite a while. They weren't actually in the kit. I just, at the end of each month, I either mix, if there's barely anything left, I mix it in with my supplies. Or if there's quite a bit left, like I hadn't used any of the Corbett Creation enamel hearts, I leave them and add them to the following kit. Otherwise, I found I didn't often go back. And if I didn't use, if I didn't kill my kit and use everything, it just kind of, my supplies just kept growing instead of diminishing. And so obviously that's going to happen. Like, that's a silly thing to say. That's obviously going to happen because I'm buying a kit each month. But I also kind of I did want to use it a little bit, if that makes sense. Like, use up a little bit more of my stuff, if that makes sense. I don't know if I'm making any sense. This is like the 20th voiceover in a row for me today. I had been recording and not doing voiceovers, so I'm probably just rambling on now. I need to stop. But I can't stop. You can't just have silence. So there was this super cute tassel that I have never managed to get onto a layout. There's 2 of them. And I thought this silver one was just the bomb. And there's a few bits that are holographic on the page and in the ephemera. So I was like, the silver tassel just totally works with the other holographic stuff. And I'm just going to do it. Just live wildly. You only live once. So I'm just putting some of the enamel dots on that came with the Glitter Girl. I'm just going to call it Glitter Girl Flare. Now, I did off-screen decide that this needed a border. And it was very, very difficult to squeeze a centimetre out of the paper, because I'd worked nearly all the way to the edge, but I managed to I couldn't put it through the paper slicer. I managed to hand cut a centimetre off the bottom and a centimetre off the left-hand side. So I was able to squeeze in a little border there, which I think makes a massive difference to the layout. It really lifts it. So I'm so glad I managed to do that. And there we go. This is it. I'm really happy with how it turned out. I think it looks really cool. I'm happy with the mats in those photos too. How striking are they? And the little tulle popping behind, I think that's really cute. So yeah, I hope you liked it. Thank you for sticking around and watching the video. And please leave me a comment or a like and a subscribe and a thumbs up and all those many, many things that we do. Let me know what you think. What do you love? What don't you love? And yeah, Thanks for watching. I hope you've liked checking out all these photos. I think I included 7,000 million for you today. And yeah, I will catch you next time. Thanks everyone. Bye.